It's yet another day in the beautiful city of Bo. Today, as we entered into Jala University, one of the best universities in Sierra Leone, we are here with our brothers. What's your name?
I'm Improvisers.
And you?
And I'm Abubakar S. Kamaya.
Okay, today it's all about Africa. So I'm here to talk with my brothers. So what do you think about Africa opening its borders to Africans and to those who believe in the African dreams?
Well, for Africa's to open borders between two different Africas is somehow important and is somehow not important again, because the reason why I say so because it
No,
is
I'll come back.
important.
I'll come back to that. So, what's
Okay.
your take on that?
First off, let's say we have the United States of America. So why can't we have the United States of Africa?
One Africa.
Yes, one
Okay.
Africa to say.
Okay, because in Africa, everywhere you go, you see roadblock. If you are moving from Sierra Leone to Liberia, you see roadblock. If you are moving from Sierra Leone to Guinea, you see roadblock. With the youth of Africa, there's not that freedom of movement. So, like, why do you say it's not good
Border.
to open border?
Well, it's because of the safety of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, and we need to have strong security in this country. There are bad people around coming from different countries. So the safety of the country. That's why.
So you mean that opening borders will bring crimes and lots of illegal activities in the country?
Yeah, yeah, it brings something like that. One thing, because of you need to have a specific security for that when you're opening borders. If your security is not strong, I don't think if you're gonna I don't think your country is gonna be
So back
good
to
in
Something
good.
we are lacking in Africa is the trading system. You understand? Now in Europe, you tend to see most of them tend to support their own trading companies. Like let's say we have the Teslas, the Microsoft. That those companies tends to move around in Europe, making a lot of money, boosting the economy. So why can't we also do the same in Africa? Like we have the likes of GAC Motors. Of course, I know TVS is not an African company, but it is based mostly mostly in Africa. So why can't we tend to support one another? Why can't we do correct marketing strategy to improve the economy in Africa?
So what else on what you are saying is this: we that African youth living in Europe, one of the things we enjoy is freedom of movement.
Yeah.
If you are living in France, you can just get your ticket, go to Lisbon in the next day. But in Africa, it's not that easy. If you want to go to Morocco or to South Africa, it's more difficult
It can
to
sometimes
go.
take about a month to get a ticket
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to travel to those countries, and it is not good.
And because of the safety of they want safety of the country, so that's why in most African countries they do something
So
like that.
for you, what you are saying, you are focusing on security. So you
Security,
means when the borders are open, there will not be that safety for citizens who are living in that country.
100% that, 100% that.
Okay, so what's your take on this
And
safety?
my take on this safety is not that I don't think safety is the problem here. Marketing should be the problem for us to improve the African economy, the African GDP. Let's take Sierra Leone for example. Recently, I was researching and I found out that Sierra Leone has now started producing electric bikes. So how about importing or exporting those bikes to different African countries? You
Yeah,
see, through that way we can tend to raise up the African economy.
yeah.
If the Europe, the Americans can do it, why can't Africans do it?
Yeah, it makes sense because you see Europe, they hate themselves. You see France, Germany, World War I, World War
Yeah,
II, they
all
keep
those
fighting
things
themselves.
keep
But
fighting themselves.
after this wars, they came together to survive. Why can't we Africans
And now they
come
are
together?
boosting their
Yeah,
economies.
yeah. What?
African is nowhere close to even the economy, let's say, one of the countries in Europe produces.
Yeah, yeah. Because they come together to survive. Why can't we
Why
Africans
can't we
come
Africans do the
together to
same?
survive? Because in every country you go, you see bad people. You
Yeah,
understand?
if
In every country,
Africans are unite, I think it will be a better
Yeah, and in
economic
terms
point.
of the security business, there was this thing. Is it ECOWAS or ECOMOC was working towards the ECO bill or something, combining about 5 African countries. Trust me, if that was in
Is
place,
the
honestly, the
ECOWAS
economy would
thing.
have, boosted up a little bit.
okay. So another question. So if Africa open its borders to African youth and to those who believe in the African dreams, which country would you love to visit?
Well, I will like to visit Ghana because Ghana is my favorite African
Why
country.
Ghana?
Because of the educational standard, you know, and I really love Ghana.
And you, which country would you love to visit?
Let's just say mine. Honestly, I'm just the native type.
No, but like as a native type, you have to like
Yeah,
move
there
to
is
Arab
this one
communities here.
particular country that I would love to move to, which is Egypt,
Okay, why
because
Egypt?
I would want us, as underdeveloping countries, to learn from them,
Learn something like
like
what?
technologies, medical. That I don't think most of the Egyptians tend to think of themselves as an Africans.
Okay. So what message do you have to African leaders who think open borders is not good for Africa? Just a message.
Well, my message to them is they have to be united. When Africans are united, it will better. It will better for Africans.
And what message do you have?
Just a simple message. I would like us as African to come together and form the United States of Africa.
Okay. So what message do you have to African youth again who thinks like migrating to another African countries is not good?
Um, for the African youth, of course, migrating to a different African country, let's say it is somehow good because you tend to learn a lot of things. Just as my papa used to say, every day we dey learn new thing.
Okay. So do you guys have any question for me or for the channel, my followers?
Well, Okocho, the only thing we keep following you.
Okay.
Keep following your page, keep following your videos.
So do you have any
We-
questions for my
No,
followers
but
and
I
for
would
me?
like to give you a shout out for what you are doing, trying to bring Africans
Together, yeah.
together. Like it is not an easy task.
Not
though.
only Africa to connect to Africa and
and the
And
outer
European
world, yeah,
countries.
Africa and the
It is
extra
not
side.
an easy task though, but I would like to give you a shout out on that. That is a very good thing.
So I want you guys to send shout out to all my followers in Lisbon, Portugal.
Yeah, shout out to all followers of Alfred Bokari
Bokari,
in
yeah.
Lisbon. Thank you so
We
much
love you
for
all.
And in Portugal also, we love you all. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year. Thank you.
thank you.
Got